Welcome, everyone, to the official debate section of the Charter Review.
Question: what kind of bear is best?
It's a ridiculous question.
False. Black bear.
Well, that's debatable.
Listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Not Exactly Experts. I'm Fox, and my co-host Rambo on the show today as well. With us, we have another guest, Jordan Sharp, joining us today. Jordan, welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Hey, first of all, love the show. Obviously, know you guys quite well, but when I hear the title, Not Exactly Experts, fits me perfectly, so I'm ready to rock. Let's go.
You look like you're ready to rock. You look like an air traffic controller or something, like guiding F-15 pilots to take off of a battleship or something.
Well, it gets loud in here. I've got babies crying. I got to make sure the noise is canceled out.
So let's quickly, before we get into the topics for today, do a recap of our last episode where we talked about big movie hits. Of course, we all kind of agreed, at least the three or four of us loved Dark Knight. Of course, if you remember, Cole, our guest on the show, said, nope, I'm a Saving Private Ryan fan. We've got a few polls, though, that we want to talk about, as well as the Avengers, right? I pronounced it right this time, guys?
Avengers? It is Avengers. You are correct. Not Avengers.
So Avengers Endgame.
Wait. What if it would have been, what did you say it was?
Avengers?
Yeah. What if it would have been called Avengers? It wouldn't have been the same.
I think it'd been better.
Are you?
I wouldn't have watched it.
Avengers. Coming to the theaters near you. Avengers. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Don't work.
Avengers Endgame, they re-released it, which I'm not sure if I've heard that happen before. Added 18 seconds of footage, which I've not seen it. Has anyone seen it? I don't know what they added, but I've read that it wasn't that great.
It's like already a 3.5-hour movie. You add 18 seconds to it? Like, how the heck are you supposed to pick that out?
It still wasn't good enough anyway. So it still fell short of Avatar, which is the all-time top-grossing movie of all time.
Like
so
what,
even double releasing, 200 million short or something like that, 300 million short. So even double releasing it wasn't good enough. We had some polls, though, Rambo. Let's go over the polls real quick of what we saw on social media and see where those fell into place.
Yeah, and some of these polls are actually from our episode with Brock Wagner, just finishing up. One of them was that better summer lake activity. Was it fishing or was it tubing and skiing? And that one was actually pretty close. It ended up with fishing at around 42%, tubing and skiing about 58%. So a lot closer than I thought. I kind of thought fishing was not going to get even close to that many votes.
Jordan, what was your vote?
Dude, it's got to be getting on the water.
I knew it.
You knew that answer.
I knew it.
You knew that answer, Fox. We've done many, many weekends out there on the lake, man. No doubt. Tubing, wakeboarding, kneeboarding, face planting in the water. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, see, I've tried the skiing thing, and I just drink gallons and gallons of lake water, so it's not enjoyable.
Dude, you have not had a good time at the lake unless you've been on a tube and your pants come off and you're riding around a corner.
I tie my drawstrings tight. Never had that issue.
Can't get tight enough. It's happened. Yeah. It's embarrassing. And it hurts.
I think the last time I did that, I was actually tubing with my mom, and my shorts were about to come off. And I looked at her, I was like, Mom, I'm letting go, because I'm not going to go on this tube nude with my mom.
You let your mom beat you?
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
This comes back to what Brock Wagner was saying on our previous episode. He wears the tight... What are they called? Compression shorts. He wears the tight compression shorts to keep the perch at bay, and then if the trunks come off, you're still good to go.
Well, I'm not exactly an expert here, Fox, so I didn't figure that out.
I do agree though with Jordan. And obviously still, like, tubing is fun. And Jordan, I literally have a specific memory in my head when I'd like swung you wide on a jet ski. and you're on a kneeboard, and I remember you like hit a big wave, and then your nose planted, and you just disappeared.
Like I said, you've never been to the lake and had a good time unless you have been face planted on a kneeboard. It's like your face is smacking cement. It's a great feeling.
Sounds like a great time, guys. I can't believe that so many people voted for that. All right. Well, there's another one. Again, the other big poll we had for that episode was, what was the better feeling as a kid? Was it the first day of summer, or was it that Christmas morning? And that one wasn't nearly as close. We had 71% of people vote for summer, and then the 29% voted for Christmas morning. So I thought that one was going to be a lot closer. I thought that was a tougher question than I guess it ended up being. What did you vote for, Jordan?
Well, I would agree with Fox if I remember on that podcast. Christmas is a one-day deal. Summer is 3 months long. There's nothing better than getting out of school. And I know you used to burn your books. Isn't that right, old Rambo? I'm pretty sure you used to go burn all your stuff. Yeah, I wasn't part of that, but I heard about it all the time. So, no, I'm with Fox on this one, and you both. It's definitely that feeling of summer and freedom, and like you're just coming out of that prison of school for all that time. No doubt.
Yeah. There was only 2 really bad memories of that burnout, I guess you might call that. The first one I can tell you guys was we were getting a little out of hand with the burning, and we found like a Pringles can. We just got done eating these Pringles, and somebody put it full of lighter fluid, and then somebody had the great idea of stomping on the Pringles can. And it lit him on fire. I mean, that fire was going up his leg. He was screaming the F word. And we all just kind of sat and watched like, hey, there's our friend on fire. This is cool. I think somebody even got on videotape. So that was a pretty cool memory. The second one was we slept outside for some stupid reason. And I fell asleep on the trampoline. I don't know how I fell asleep on a trampoline to starters, but I woke up and I was off the trampoline. No idea how I got there. In the grass, full of chiggers. Like, that was a miserable couple weeks.
Dude, okay. That sounds completely fitting for you, Rambo.
Yeah.
For something like that to happen. Fox knows what I'm talking about. That is completely fitting.
Right,
I think it always happened to me. Yeah.
So moving on to today, 2 main topics we want to talk about. 4th of July just completed, pretty fresh off that. Big holiday for America, obviously. So a few things we want to discuss on that, and food related. Obviously, it's a big holiday for fireworks and food. And then a little bit of NBA happenings in the news right now with free agency among us. Are players paid too much? I don't know. We'll get into that debate. And then if you could party or go out with one celebrity, who would it be and why? So let's first dive into the 4th of July. Just got over with. A lot of fun. America,
baby.
So 86.
Better?
I don't think it does, because I've read and looked up. It looks like 86% of Americans celebrate.
Wait, that's it? 86?
That's it?
What are the other
That's a good
14%
point.
of people doing?
Yeah, what else is there to do? Like, get out there with everyone else.
The other 14% didn't vote. That's bull crap. Don't believe it.
That's why it is. That's why it's 86. The other 14 just didn't reply to the poll.
Right.
So it's also one of the most spent holidays in terms of food. 6.7 billion on food. So on average, it's $73 a person is what people are spending on food and activities.
You know, I can speak from experience here. We just tried to do some hot dogs. Went to the grocery store. Went to 2 grocery stores completely out of hot dog buns. We had to go to a frickin' 7-Eleven to get hot dog buns.
For $3.99.
Yeah.
50 cents a
hot
bun.
dog buns ever.
So speaking of the shortage of buns, 150 million hot dogs is how many are estimated to be consumed. 150 million hot dogs.
I think Joey Chestnut's 10% of those.
Joey Chestnut. Let's talk about him for a minute. If you're not familiar with the name, you probably weren't watching ESPN on the morning of, or mid-morning of the 4th. He is the hot dog eating contest extraordinaire. To put it the way that the announcer put it, he has God's username and password when it comes to hot dog eating.
Yes.
That is classic.
He is the GOAT of competitive eating. He's the greatest of all time.
If you didn't catch it, he won, of course. This is his 12th, I believe.
Hey, who thought that he was going to lose?
I thought I told you I didn't think he'd break the record. So he ate.
You said both.
Last year he ate 74, and to beat the record, obviously he needs 75, which is done in 10 minutes, by the way, bun and hot dog and all. He only got 71. What did he get? 71. This year?
Colossal failure this year, Fox. Colossal failure.
Colossal failure.
He beat the next guy by like 21 hot dogs.
Are you talking about Jeff? Are we talking about Jeffrey Esper? Isn't he like the number 2 ranked hot dog eater?
Yeah. He got like 50.
That's not even a competition. Like outdoing someone by 20 dogs in 10 minutes.
Insane. It's pretty impressive. It's kind of gross at the same time. How does this happen? How do you eat 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes? I mean, I've seen Rambo really choke down a foot-long Subway sandwich really quick, and I think that's impressive. But 74 hot dogs.
How many calories is that? What's an average hot dog? Like
somebody look that up.
Roughly, a hot dog's 150 calories. And if he's down in, 71? So we're looking at almost 11,000 calories just in the dog, not to mention the calories in the bun.
Wow. How is that physically possible? Like, I want to see his insides. Like, what does his stomach look like?
So I was watching a video today, and they were talking about somebody actually did that. They took an x-ray of their stomach or an ultrasound, whatever it be. They did some type of picture of his stomach, and your stomach, without food in it is like roughly the size of your fist. And it can expand up to 5 times for normal people. But they did that. So they did the picture before. It was obviously the size of his fist. And then they did it after, I think it was hot dog eating. And that guy only got like 30 or 40 hot dogs in. And it was huge. I mean, it was like at least 6 times as big as it was. Jeez. So your stomach expands. It's insane. But you have to train it to do that. And I was just listening to all the things that the people do. Like, they just say you have to not focus on being full. Like, you just focus on swallowing and getting it in your mouth and getting it down your throat. I mean, it's insane.
So you mentioned training, Rambo. Like, I think this brings to a question that I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Is competitive eating a sport?
Absolutely not. No. No.
Okay.
Come on.
So I did see this. I did see this. There's typically, most people, when they're thinking about is something a sport, there's usually 5 questions that it needs to answer. The first one is, should include an element of competition.
Check.
Checks that one off. Yep.
Okay.
Number 2, it should not rely on any key element of luck.
Check.
This one, I don't know. Number 3, should not pose an undue health and safety risk to the athletes or participants.
Check. I'm checking it. It's the same thing as putting on a football helmet and playing a game of football. You either eat too much and blow your stomach up, or you hit a linebacker and you get a concussion.
I
would agree. And then PETA specifically would probably argue with number 4, should in no way be harmful to any living creature.
Look, there are
pigskin for a football. It's so different. They use pigskin for a football.
There's probably ants on the field.
Yeah, and then the last one's
So check.
Should not rely on any equipment provided by a single supplier. Check.
Okay, I hate these definitions. It is not a sport.
Why?
Come on.
Why?
So anything competitive, we're just going to say, oh, these guys are athletes. I'm not saying it's not a sport, but athlete in what?
You've got to see. I know we brought up training.
I know. I understand.
Fox, give him a little information on what this Joey Chestnut does.
That's what I want to know is, what does the pregame look like?
He trains. So he trains big time. So first off, we were looking at videos. This guy, Joey Chestnut, literally takes like weights and puts them has a rig set up to like practice chewing and like practice his swallowing muscles, strengthening all those. And then he literally does like crunches while like swallowing air to expand his stomach up. And then just burping it all out, like stretching his stomach, strengthening his jaws. That is same training as doing some other type of sport, in my opinion. I'm calling it a sport. Joey Chestnut is an athlete.
Yeah,
So,
I think he has to be an athlete.
Gosh, I hate saying this, but your definitions prove me wrong. I want to know, okay, we know what the before looks like. What do the next 12 hours in his life look
They
like?
have to be
They
brutal.
still
have to be absolute hell.
Like he goes from loving America to absolutely hating life in those next 12 hours.
And what's funny, he was mad. I don't know if you remember that, Fox, but afterwards he was mad because he didn't break the record. It was, who gives a crap that I beat the next guy by 20 hot dogs? He's like, shoot, I'm just disappointed I didn't get to 75 because I did it when I practiced.
I agree with him. It's what everyone wanted. Like, he was so far ahead, it wasn't that entertaining. So the only thing that he was competing against was the world record, not who was, for second place.
I don't know. I think I gotta agree with you, Fox. I think it's a sport. I think he's an athlete just because he trains. I mean, it's gross. He's not like doing physical activity like most athletes, but he's competing.
So now, Jordan, I would agree with you. And you kind of took the stance earlier of like, you don't think he's an athlete. You don't think he's competitive. If we rewind back 10 years or so when Kobayashi came to the scene, and you have this little 120-pound Japanese dude up on this row with 15 other guys that are just massive, like 200, 300 pounds. I would argue it wasn't a sport then, but all of a sudden he comes in and brings in training and practicing and doing all those other things. And I think the record at that point was like 25 dogs. All of a sudden this little dude out of nowhere eats 50. And all of a sudden now it's a game changer. Like training, practicing, getting ready for a sport. I think it's just, it makes it, because of the level of effort going into preparing for something like this now, I would call it a sport today.
I'm not saying I disagree, but it just to put him in the same context of like a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James, a Tiger Woods, things like that, just my mind, it just doesn't go there. But I would agree with you. He has definitely put competitive eating on the map.
Yeah,
the dude owns 49 records of competitive eating, 49 various foods. He owns the record in. That's impressive to me.
That's incredible.
So he's more than a dog man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's the number one. So there's the major league of eating. He's number one. So it measures all eating, like all competitive eating things, not just hot dogs. And one thing I did notice, we were talking about, at least Fox was talking about, it used to be just the bigger guys, and then Kobayashi came into the scene. But now they're talking about all these guys in the major league eating. They are all in pretty good health. You would think that if they're throwing all this food in their stomach and consuming all these calories, that they'd just be in terrible health. Like they literally said they measure their body mass index and they were all good to go. Like the doctors are saying, you're fine, keep doing it.
That is nuts.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's, at least for Joey, it's his job. He has no other career.
Yeah.
He professionally eats, and that is it. So,
and he said he's not ready to retire. He said that the only way he would retire, even if he gets beat, he'll come back one more year. If he doesn't win then, he'll probably hang him up.
Well, he's only 35. All right. Yeah. So he's in his prime, right? As an athlete, he's towards that. I'm in my prime to the downslope. But this is one of these things, man. I mean, age doesn't matter. As long as you can lift a hot dog up to your mouth.
Yeah, I was going to say. Like,
you keep your stomach in check. I mean, my gosh, he could be doing this at 85. But here's the kicker. Well, no wonder he can't retire. Do you know how much he wins when he wins this contest? Have you guys looked at it?
$10,000.
10 grand.
That's it.
For lunch.
But here's the thing. I actually looked it up because I was curious. Me and Fox were, talking about this after the competition, was how much do you think he makes in a year? What I looked up, and they didn't have the stats recent, but back in 2010 he was making $250,000. And he has tons of competitions he wins, but a lot of it is endorsements and all the dang TV shows he goes on and all that pre-work. I think a lot of it, they said 100,000 of it comes from just the hot dog eating competition.
Wow.
That's
a big day for him. That's a big payday.
Yeah. So he ain't doing so bad.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the 86% that celebrates the 4th of July.
You think? Okay. What if the founding fathers or whoever signed the Declaration of Independence, what if they signed it in the middle of frickin' winter? Like, would we still be celebrating this in winter? Like, can you guys imagine that? Like, instead of the dead of summer where we're out grilling and blowing off fireworks, it's just November, snow's on the ground. We're just like, yay.
What would we do instead?
We became free.
Well, our traditions, I think, would be totally different, right? Obviously, grilling and fireworks and all that is the big thing? Is it like snowball fights and like
that wouldn't be America,
No,
right?
No,
like
absolutely not.
lighting up your flag in the house?
So did we just get lucky? Did we get lucky that they did it in July?
I think it's a conspiracy.
Yeah. They just knew. They knew back in the day that we had to do this in the summer so that you guys can get on your freaking tubes and face plant into the water so America can consume billions of hot dogs that one day. They just decided 4th of July it had to be.
They were really thinking ahead.
They need a high five because
Thank
I can't
you.
imagine it different. No way.
High five, founding fathers.
Okay. Couple more things I did want to talk about on Joey Chestnut. One, we kind of brought it up. Can you guys imagine what it would be like if you ate that many hot dogs and didn't win?
Dude. No, not a chance.
And that's why I don't get like it's even a competition because those guys are never even close. Like what you're signing up for that to lose.
That's a good point.
And to go home and be like just miserable for at least the rest of the day and just want to probably throw up. Like they must be getting paid pretty good sponsors or something. Like I just can't imagine that feeling. And then the other thing I was thinking, like, I know me and Fox talked about this already, Fox and I, but man, like, do you think he ever eats a hot dog outside of that competition?
I was wondering the same thing. I can't think I'd want to eat a hot dog for a long time if I just narfed down 74 of them.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes.
Yeah, like you'd have to think that you'd hate it, like just never want it.
Or is it weird eating a hot dog and not dipping the bun in water?
Oh, dude, that would be the worst
gross.
part. Like I could not do that. I'd gag every time.
It's got to slide down. You run out of saliva.
Well, I get why, but my gosh.
All right, so on the topic of competitive eating and Joey Chestnut, I've got a little game for you guys to play that I put together. Looked up a few things. I mentioned earlier 49 records that he has in Major League Eating of the king of various foods. So I've got 6 here that he also holds. Of 6 of the 49 he holds a record in. We're going to see which of you can guess closer to the actual amount that the record is for what he set. So we'll let our guest first here.
Naturally.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fox.
Glazed donuts. He's got 8 minutes for glazed donuts. How many do you think he eats?
Ooh, I would think there'd be more than hot dogs. Well,
it's a lot of bread.
That's a ton of bread. I'm going to go with 54.
Rambo?
Yeah, I'm going to go a little less. Let's go just straight 50.
Jordan, did you look this up?
This is right.
55 is the record.
Holy moly.
55 glazed donuts.
Dude, that's a breakfast.
All right, Jordan lead 1-0.
I always let the guest win, just so you know.
That's nice. All right, so Rambo, you can go first here. Jalapeno poppers. 10 minutes, just like hot dogs.
I'll go with 60.
60 jalapeno poppers. Jordan?
I'm going to say less just because of the jalapenos. He's got 10 minutes. I'm going to go, you said 60, Rambo?
Yep.
I'm going to go 1 under and say 59. This is the Price is Right, baby.
I like that. Unfortunately, it's not in your favor. 118 jalapeno poppers.
Dude, I don't even want to think about like the other end of that, like what he has to do afterwards.
There's a lot of jalapeno popping.
Yeah. Ouch.
Again, the 12 hours after these contests, I want to see it. I want it to be recorded and put on YouTube.
That would be a 30 for 30.
Yes.
It's like
Definitely.
Survivor.
All right, number 3, Twinkies. So we're tied up. Twinkies. 6 minutes is all they get for Twinkies. Jordan?
Ooh, I'm going to go 75. I still think he can knock out a ton of Twinkies in 6 minutes.
75.
And I went high, but man.
I'm going to go right below it like you did, 74.
Fancy.
121.
Oh, that's
crap.
121 Twinkies in 6 freaking minutes.
Dude. All I got to say, Rambo, is it's 2-1.
Not over till it's over.
Rambo, you're first this time. 6 minutes for ice cream sandwiches. What do you think?
I'm going to go with 60.
Jordan?
Oh, I'm just going less than that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 59 for the competition's sake because I want to win. But I'm gonna say 46 or 47.
That's a wise move still. 25 and a half ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, wow.
So not as impressive, but with the brain freeze thing, I just feel like that'd be so difficult to narf those down. 3-1.
Bro, the guest always
Oh.
wins.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that's how it is. Okay.
Moving on to the fifth one. Jordan, you get to go first now.
Yes.
Hostess donuts, right? There's the little white ones, the cinnamon ones, the chocolate ones that Hostess makes. 6 minutes. Joey Chestnut holds the record.
I mean, if he can eat glazed donuts, and it was like, I'm gonna go 150, and it could be higher. It could be higher.
So he
I'm
did
going
55 full-size glazed donuts in 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. Can I re-answer? Wow, that's
Re-answer.
way off.
55.
Okay.
He did 55 glazed donuts in 8 minutes. How many little Hostess donuts can he do in 6?
I'm gonna go with 73.
Rambo?
I think it's over 100.
Yeah.
It is.
Dang it. I should have stuck with my original answer. Yeah.
257.
Yeah, if you were gonna go 150, I was probably gonna say 200. I was just the man is a beast.
Dude, this
Gosh.
is scary. This is scary.
You can tie it up here, Rambo.
Good
Probably
luck.
won't.
Peeps. 5 minutes. How many peeps does Joey Chestnut eat in 5 minutes with the world
He-
record number?
Eats human flesh? What is peeps?
Peeps.
The
So for those that don't
Easter.
know, the little Easter peeps, they're like 4 inches tall. They're
Okay.
literally sugar balls.
They're
Thank you
made
for
of
the visual.
marshmallow.
Shaped
It's
in a bucket.
disgusting.
Now I know we're on the same page. It kind of scared me.
How many marshmallow Easter peeps in 6
how
minutes
long?
is Joey? 6 minutes.
It's got to be up there with the donuts because they're not that big. I mean, it's probably the same amount of sugar as a freaking donut. Like, man, that's
It's less time now.
disgusting.
It's only
I'm
5
gonna
minutes. It's 1 minute less than
1 minute less?
the donuts. Yeah, the donuts. Donetes.
I'm gonna say 140.
I'm gonna go 141. I think it's gonna be like 175.
So gross. It's so gross either way.
255 peeps.
Oh my god.
Why are you kidding me?
255 peeps in 5 minutes.
Now, why is that not on TV? I want to see that.
So I do have a mild correction. That's actually not Joey Chestnut's record. It is someone else's, but that is the record for peeps.
Well, I
200.
can't lose off this misinformation.
Okay, misinformation. Let's do a tiebreaker then.
Tiebreaker, I'm up 4-2.
No, that one didn't count.
Let's give Rambo one more try because he loses all the time.
Yeah, thanks.
A Slurpee. This is not Joey Chestnut. A Slurpee. Think of the brain freeze this brings on. A 22-ounce Slurpee. What is the record in time that a 22-ounce Slurpee has been slurped down? What do you think?
10 seconds.
7.
Ooh, this is close. 9 seconds.
Yeah!
You went over. Have you not watched The Price is Right?
We didn't play the prices right. It was whoever's closest.
So I do think officially Jordan did get more points.
You know, he can win. I
So,
don't care.
our guest wins again. The guests have a pretty
Congrats.
good record on this show. So we talked a little bit about what Joey Chestnut is making in competitive eating. There's money in it. He makes it mostly from endorsements. But I'll tell you who's making a lot of money right now. The NBA players, NBA athletes, NFL athletes, pro athletes in general are absolutely raking it in. Our professional athletes pay too much.
I don't think so. But you got to understand. I mean, obviously, they're getting paid way more than your average show here. But you got to think about this. The reason they're getting paid that money is because there's that much money coming in. And the thing you got to realize is if they don't get that money, you're saying that the owners keep more of that money. And so absolutely they get paid so much money to play a sport, but you got to look at just like competitive eating. We just said that how many people watch that compared to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's like 100 times more. So why don't they take some of their salaries and then lower ticket prices or lower the cost of a hot dog, for example, at concession stands?
No kidding.
Demand, baby. Unfortunately, we are the problem. I mean, we as consumers continue to pay those high prices, and it's market demand, supply and demand, and the demand is there, and it's just they're a free market business like anybody else. They're going to charge what people are going to pay. So absolutely, they get paid way too much to throw a ball, to dribble a ball, to kick a ball, all that stuff. But when you look at what's coming in, they're the reason it comes in. They're the ones who should get rewarded for that. And that's a whole nother conversation we could probably spend hours on in college basketball. But they don't get paid anything.
It is a good topic. So let's talk a little bit about free agency. They're getting paid a lot. Let's throw up some numbers of what some of these athletes are making.
Okay, so I actually got this. I did a little research here. So obviously, if you've been paying attention to the NBA free agency, that's the hottest item on the market right now. So I've got like the top 5 right here. So KD, Kevin Durant, just left the Warriors, signed a 4-year, $164 million deal on a discount. Okay, on a discount, so that Kyrie Irving could come take a 4-year, $142 million deal, and they could team up in Brooklyn. But Kemba Walker went to the Celtics, 4-year, $140 million. Jimmy Butler, 4 years, $142 million, and Klay Thompson, a 5-year, $190 million deal. So it's insane. I mean, what these guys are making, and every year the bar just gets risen higher.
I saw if you added up everything that was spent in free agency, so every single free agency contract done so far, it's like $2 billion, which is roughly like not the best franchise out there, but you could buy an NBA team with that amount of money. It's insane, and again, it's not just the NBA; it's the NFL. It's Major League Baseball. Baseball is probably even worse,
dude. Baseball. So
that's
crazy.
That's my question. Is let's pose the different question. Not should these athletes be getting paid that much? Let's say this: which kind of athlete should be getting paid that much? Should it be baseball? Should it be NFL? Should it be basketball? What do you guys think on that?
So
it's tough.
I would say just because of what they put themselves through and the post sport life that these players have to live, it's football. Just from the sacrifice they put, I mean, they have the highest risk of injury. They probably have to retire the earliest because of what their body goes through. I would say football. Now, here's my thing on baseball. Baseball makes so much money. Like you said, Rambo, I think they're the highest. I think
they're
from
the highest, but it's also they get long contracts. Like these new guys, I don't remember who signed. It's 10 or 12 years, which to me is crazy to like commit yourself to that long. I mean, again, for the average Joe, that's not a big deal, but for those guys, like the NBA, it's like 3 or 4 years with like team options where they can get out of it and go somewhere else if the team's not doing well. Like in baseball, they're there for a decade.
I know.
It's like 500 million.
And I'd like to know the stat of like how many of those players statistically actually play out their contracts in that town, in that city. But here's the reason why in baseball, right? They play like 1,000 games a year. What is it like?
Yeah.
Is it 100 and some games?
You're playing or you're traveling every day.
I mean, and it's like a 2-month off season. It seems like I can't stand the summer. I don't watch ESPN anymore in the summer because all I get on there and see is baseball highlights. Yeah. And I can't stand it, but they're all through the summer. They play until like October. They have like 3 months off. Yeah, starts in February.
Training's pretty long. It's a couple months at itself.
It sounds like you're almost making a case that baseball players should make the most.
Well, if you're talking about time spent playing, I think. But again, if you look at even NFL, like those guys are training. I mean, they don't take much time off either. If you want to be on the field and be a starter and make the millions, you got to be training your butt off because there's always going to be somebody else that's going to come in and take your job. So even if they're not playing games, I don't know if that's a valid excuse, I guess, in my books. I think I have to side with you. I would say NFL just because of what it does to their bodies and concussions and everything they can put themselves through. Probably. I definitely don't think it's NBA, which NBA is getting up there.
Dude, I think they're second. It goes baseball, probably. NBA, and then football. But again, it's because of the money that's coming in. NBA plays 82 games. Baseball plays, I don't even know, but they're in the 120s, something like that. And the time that they spend away from their family, I mean, they're gone on like 3-day road stints, and then they go to the next city, and then they go to the next city.
I know they're gone. That would suck for that family. Like when you never see your family.
Like, dude, when you look at it, because we idolize because we see them on social media, we see them on TV. Our perceptions that these people are just completely different. They're humans, just like you and I. I cannot imagine being away from my wife. You guys know, gosh, I can't be away from her sometimes for more than a day or two.
Yeah, you're
And,
a sissy.
I know. There ain't no way I could play professional baseball. Not a
What
chance.
if we said, Jordan, we'll give you $500 million for the next 10 years to only see your wife, I don't know, 5 weekends in the year.
Then you could retire and see her every day.
You can fly her into every game.
Dude, too many special moments, raising kids, and you got to be there for that. No, it ain't worth the money for me.
What if it was only 2 years? What if it was $50 million for 2 years?
Okay, I'm in for 2 years. I'm in.
All right.
You got me sold on the 2-year deal.
You're going to miss special moments in 2
That's
years. Here's the problem I have with all the sports we've talked about so far. I think they're paid too much. And the other thing I don't like is they're not really paid on performance. This is one thing, and it may not be as exciting to watch, but this is one thing I love about, for example, golf or tennis. You're paid based on how you perform, right? If you show up on Thursday and don't make the cut for golf, you're out. You don't make any money. Like, it's based on how well you do. These basketball players sign these contracts, these football players sign these contracts, they could throw out their arm, not even play, totally suck it up. And they're still
the other thing on that is the contracts are built with tons of incentives. So incentives and then guaranteed money. Again, I don't know. You probably don't follow the NFL probably as closely as Jordan and I do Fox, but it's all about the guaranteed money, because if somebody has a bad year, like NFL teams will cut bait and just say, well, see ya, you didn't do it good enough this year, but you were great the year before. And then a lot of it, if they didn't have a lot of guaranteed money in the contract, they don't get any of it. But a lot of it's incentive based now, especially for those younger players and people that they're not just, sold on, is if they make the Pro Bowl, they get a freaking, bonus of $100,000. If they do so many touchdowns or whatever it is, I'm sure the NBA does that too. There is incentive laid on contracts, but I do get what you're saying, where tennis and golf, it's just 100%. You got to show up and perform every freaking tournament.
Yeah, but Joey Chestnut, if he doesn't perform, he doesn't make any money.
Yeah, but it's just a longer time span of performance. They're still getting paid for performance. I mean, KD, just got paid $164 million. It wasn't because he went out and sucked every night on the court. It's because he's proven himself over the years that he's the most dominant player in the league right now, arguably. I mean, he's still getting paid for his performance. It's just not that day. If he performs that day, he gets paid. If he doesn't, it's just they're still getting paid for performance, though.
We talk about all these athletes, all these stars, all these celebrities. They've got a life outside of their sport too, right? You see them every now and then. Outside of their main roles, who do you think is the most fun? Like, who would you want to hang with? Who would you want to go out Friday night with and just tag along and just roll with the punches?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
If I'm picking an athlete, if it has to be an athlete, it's Andy Roddick.
Dude, he's got a sense of humor, man.
Yeah, his personality. He's from Nebraska, so he's a freaking Midwestern guy. I just want to ask him so many questions about his career. Like, why didn't you do this? Or
are you taking him on a date, or are we going out and partying?
We're going to go out.
I think he wants to date him. No, I think Rambo wants to date him.
Is this dinner and a movie? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. No, I just want to ask him some questions, but then I think we're going to have a cry session together, and we're going to start downing beers and whiskey.
So Andy Roddick is your athlete. Who's your celebrity?
Yeah. So if it was a celebrity, it's Chris Pratt.
I knew you were going to say that.
Chris Pratt. He's my favorite actor. Dude, he's hilarious. The dude has fun no matter what he does. Like, we could literally probably be on my couch watching My Little Pony. We'd have a freaking good time. Like, he's just hilarious.
that is.
And he's
good.
He's not like I don't know. He's not an over actor. So I just love everything he puts out there. He won some award on like Nickelodeon, and he got up there and gave some speech. It was hilarious. Like, the dude's just funnier than crap. So I think no matter what we did, I think we'd have a good time.
I don't want to come party with you. You want to go have dinner and a movie with Andy Roddick and watch My Little Pony with Chris Pratt.
No, that was an example. That was an example.
Could use some better examples.
Jordan, who you going out with? Who you partying with? Who you gonna roll?
Dude, this is tough for me.
It is tough.
This is really tough, because there's a bunch of athletes that I'd like to meet, but party with and hang out with.
Yeah, just go out and hang out with. Go out on the town for an evening or for a night.
So here's what I'll say. If I could spend an evening with Peyton Manning, like actual Peyton Manning, not the Peyton Manning meaning a fan, but maybe Peyton Manning's best friend, that he acts like himself, because I hear in the locker room, this guy's just hilarious.
He does seem
And
like he'd have a really like witty, dry sense of humor.
he's funny. I mean, his NFL Play 50 commercials, or what was that, Rambo? Do you remember? Or he used to throw balls. He was throwing the balls at the kids and stuff. And
Yeah. He throws them at like their heads and hits them and stuff.
yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. Anyway, I've heard Peyton Manning is just funny. So if I could see him in his element, like, not celebrity status Peyton, but just Peyton at home kicking it, I mean, I think I would definitely love to spend some time with old PFM.
All right.
He's just going to sing in nationwide songs
But it'd be hilarious.
Hey,
and bring
if
Papa John's pizza.
Papa John's Pizza, Brad Paisley, and Peyton Manning, it'd be pretty fun setup.
As far as a other celebrity that's not an athlete, I mean, Chris Pratt would be pretty fun to hang out with. I might have to hang out with Rambo and Chris until they start watching My Little Pony. Then I might choose something else to do.
I don't want to
God,
watch Pony with him.
Gosh.
I want to hang out and party. Just saying,
Yeah.
if that's
And
what we
watch-
did, we'd still have a good time.
Okay. Anyway, I hope you're not going to do that. I don't even know. I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. I might have to go to you. Fox, who the heck would you hang out with as a celebrity?
I just thought of this right now as you guys were rambling. So if in terms of like movies, if I were to go out with someone, I don't know if there's any athlete, but if I were to want to hang out with someone that's a movie star, I think Will Smith would be pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
I
Big
think
movie
he's
star,
pretty cool. In terms of like movies or television, I think if I could do a combo, I think it'd be so fun to hang out with Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake.
Dude,
together.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm in on that. I'm still in that.
That
We're
would be
just
a
going to go
blast.
together.
That would be a
That
blast.
would be
So,
awesome.
Jordan, you can join myself, Justin Timberlake, and Jimmy Fallon, and Rambo can go watch My Little Pony.
I can't wait. Can't wait. You guys are assholes.
Casserole tonight? Are you that hungry?
That's what I said. Yes.
Oh my god.
Is that a fat joke?
So let's do a little lightning round,
Never
a
use
little
that
this or that, with today's theme of eating and 4th of July and summertime a little bit. Hot dog or hamburger?
Oh my gosh. Cheeseburger. First of all, can that be
Okay, cheese
the
can be
option?
fine because you can put cheese on a hot dog.
Cheeseburger. In-N-Out cheeseburger all day.
Ooh, Rambo?
I mean, I don't have to eat 75 of them.
Are you really going to say a hot dog?
Probably will.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I like hot dogs.
I mean, I don't dislike them, but man.
All right.
cheeseburger?
Here's
Yeah,
the thing,
I'm
I
with
guess
you,
I can
cheeseburger all
explain.
over.
I'll explain it. Like cheeseburgers, you have to worry about how freaking done they get. Like, okay, if I can go to In-N-Out, I'm picking In-N-Out. When I
At
think of
least you know what's in a
cheeseburger,
cheeseburger. What the heck is a hot dog made of?
everything.
Hey, now,
Delicious.
Fox, there's
First of all, you
beef
can
You
hot
pick,
yeah, you can
dogs.
buy
you pick
beef hot
cheeseburger.
dog.
Back me here.
That's true. Okay, my bad.
Likes hot dogs too.
I do love hot
But that's
dogs.
my
I love
point.
hot
Is
dogs.
like if I'm cooking, if we're at a cookout, I'm probably picking the hot dog because I don't know if they cooked the hamburger exactly how I like it. It could be half uncooked, and that's
When
gross.
it's pink and you can tell, and then go get a hot dog or put it back on the
No,
grill
just
and cook
pick
it
the
some
hot
more.
dog first.
Or suck it up and eat the cheeseburger.
There you go. Fair enough. All right, 4th of July or Thanksgiving.
4th of July.
Oh man, I love 4th of July, but I'd probably pick Thanksgiving, mostly because football's on, and that's the best season of all. It's football season, so
I wanted to pick Thanksgiving because the family's back, right? It's the most traveled holiday, I think, of the whole year. You get to be around your family and everything, but I'm going to go with 4th of July. It's fun. America. If you have, you get to eat still. Thanksgiving, you get to eat. You get to eat for 4th of July. The weather's usually nicer. You've got fireworks. You've got the lake. I just think it's a more versatile holiday.
It is. And dude, Thanksgiving, like, I love Thanksgiving too. I love Thanksgiving meals, but it's
You just-
cold. And
it's
all you
cold,
do is overeat and you
and
sit
you lay
there.
around and you feel like
Oh.
crap.
Oh,
that's
man.
heaven. That's
At
heaven
least-
to me.
at least after eating 74 hot dogs, you can go, ride a jet ski or get on a tube or do something active.
What if we didn't live in Kansas? What if we lived in California or in Florida?
During Thanksgiving?
Yep.
It could be different.
We could eat some turkey and then,
Hashtag America.
go for a boat ride.
Hashtag America.
Yep.
Hey, you know that Thanksgiving, do you know what Thanksgiving actually celebrates?
That's
we
true.
It's American too.
We came across on a ship and did bad things to the people who were already here. Christopher Columbus wasn't that great of a person.
Do you realize what happened after the Declaration of Independence? A lot of people died.
Yeah, I'm backing Rambo up on this one, Fox.
So we talked about movies and celebrities, and we talked about Avengers. How about superpowers? Superpowers. Flying or being invisible? Which would you take?
Oh, flying.
What?
I'm with it. Flying. It'd be so cool.
Flying.
What couldn't you do if you're
no
invisible?
better feeling than just flying.
That would be amazing. If you want to be invisible, fly super high and no one can see you.
Exactly. What are you, just like a creeper?
Yeah, why do you want to be
like
invisible?
My Little Pony?
You could literally do anything you want. I could go to the freaking Super Bowl, right?
It's so he can
It's
watch.
so much fun to party by yourself.
No, but I can get in and I can turn my invisibility off when I get in there and be like, I can just hang out. Do whatever I want. I can go rob a bank and have all the money I want to buy whatever I want. I can buy some suit that makes me fly. Boom.
That's not part of the lightning round, Rambo.
Yeah, it is. That's my explanation of why I'd want to be invisible.
Being able to fly, you're free. You could go anywhere you wanted.
Fly all day.
Fly. Yep, I'm with you.
Crazy.
All right. Well, with that, we will close things out. We thank you all for listening today. Jordan, thank you for being on the show. Pleasure having you on.
It was a pleasure, guys. Let's do
I
it
wouldn't
again.
call it a pleasure.
I'll be
Just
back,
kidding.
buddy.
We're excited to have you back for sure. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for listening in. Not exactly experts. Signing out. Till next time, Fox and Rambo. See you later.
My little pony, what is friendship all about? My little pony, friendship is